Greetings, y'all. Peace. We are talking about the frequencies of today. What you're looking at is the Mayan Zolkin, Tzolkin, Zolkin. And this grid is part of a 260-day cycle. This Zolkin is the Mayan sacred calendar. And so we bring this into the Galactic Mayan sacredness, which is where we are right now. If you look at that black dot right here, this black dot is on a series of shaded squares. These shaded squares are called galactic activation portals. The ancient Mayans would observe the skies, observe energies and cycles, and then present this to one another in order to know how to navigate the world around them. A galactic activation portal is a period of heightened frequency. Some people say the veil is thin. What does that mean for a frequency to be heightened or a veil to be thin? The way that I explain it is it's easier. It's easier to go into frequencies. And when you go into the frequency, it's intensified, like being looking at some words under a magnifying glass. Okay, so today and through the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, you're going to be experiencing heightened frequencies, the veils being thin between dimensions. And what that means is you need to really pay attention to what you're tapping into. A lot of times, unconsciously, you tap into negativity because it's been part of your program for so long. You have negative interpretations, negative thoughts, negative words. And if you do that, which you perfectly can, because this is about free will, you're going to experience it intensified. And here's what I suggest you do. Don't blame the people around you. It's not because they're doing this or that. It's because you have plugged into heightened frequencies and you are experiencing the intensity associated with plugging into that. This is totally about you. So I'm sending a question out here. Do you really believe that you create your reality? Yes, you're going to say yes because you know those words, because those words are in your mental frequency. But you can tell what you really believe when things start happening. It comes out in what you say, how you blame other people, how you say other people make you and are responsible for. That's how you know what's really in your subconscious. You see, a lot of times we like to speak from our intellect, from our knowledge, but we know what's coming out of the subconscious when you experience intensity. Intensity in a good way, intensity in what you call a not so good way. And then you'll say something like, someone had you acting out of character. That's absolutely in your character. And if you don't accept that, then you can't change it. And if you don't accept that, then you don't see that you really are creating your reality. So with that being said, today I want you to focus on what you're tapping into and also what you're not tapping into. What does that mean? That means look at how you're feeling and how you're thinking, and look at how you plug into that, how easily you plug into gossip, how easily you plug into some negative interaction, how easily you go into judgment, how easily you go into all the energies that don't feel good. Notice that today and realize you can really stop that. Thank you for the gift. You can choose this day what you're going to plug into, and it's going to be easy if you have a mind to do it. Now, if you're in resistance because you need to feel that way, then okay, that is up to you. I made a post today that said when people are at war within themselves, it's important for you to not try to get them out of war within themselves, because they will start fighting you. They will start resisting you. And then instead of being on the outside of the war and the chaos, you'll be on the inside of it, fighting for your life and wondering, how did I get inside of this? Every inner war is sacred. Every inner bit of chaos is necessary, and you have to learn how to let people experience their own consequences of the chaos within them. When you're trying to take them out of it and get them to see, I'm telling you what I know. I've learned this over a lifetime. It is not beneficial to try to snatch someone out of war within themselves. Now, if they invite you in, that's different. If they ask you, then that's different. But planting your awareness on top of their unconsciousness is not going to be good for either one of you. All right, that's the wisdom of the day, and especially over the next 6 days. Don't do that. Let people be where they are, because it's sacred. All right, don't take on no energy of, oh, they're gonna see, and don't do that. It's a sacred time for them to experience themselves. It's necessary. You got to come into a sacred experience of human existence. You got to come into sacred mindsets. All of this is necessary. Think about it. When you're in your internal chaos, isn't it necessary so you can reorder things, look at things in a different way? Well, so it is with other people. Okay. So the other thing I want to point out to you here is we have some support. So at the top we have a guide. That's going to be the frequency that leads the way today, and you can tap into it. It's available real easy. Universal water, that's a power. We're talking about emotion when we're talking about universal water. You're also going to see that the subconscious is associated with universal water. Okay, we're going to purify our emotions. What does that mean, to purify your emotions? Some people confuse emotions and heart. So when we say be guided by your heart, they think it means be guided by your emotions. That's not, it's not the same thing. Okay, so purifying your emotions means that you're going to understand what you're feeling, why you feel it, and then you're going to submit that to truth, universal truth. If you don't know universal truth, you're going to have to research it. Okay, Mama Oya, you call on her, Ashe. So you're going to be guided by the power of emotions through purifying them. Purify is the action. You're going to purify your emotions. Are you going to go in with your murky emotions, your suspicion, your disdain, your judgment? Are you going in with that? Well, if that's what's in you, that's what's going to be guiding you. So you're going to have to purify it. And when you purify your emotions, you're going to find that you flow better. That's the essence. Now we move on to the analog. The analog is the support energy. Remember, I just started talking about the heart and the difference between the heart and the emotions. You're going in open-minded, Ashe. So your heart is about your passion. Okay? So the support here is plug into your passion, not the emotion. You're going to purify the emotion. You're going to be in love with the passion. Purify the emotion. Be in love with your passion. Your heart is also about your courage. You're going to call upon your courage. That's supporting you today. Do you see how the heart is different from emotion? Be led by your heart, courage. Be led by your passion, courage. Be led by your nurture, courage, heart. That is different from emotion. Okay, so you got the guide of emotion to purify them. And your heart is going to be about love. You're going to use your passion and your courage to move in love. Love with who? Yourself. That's going to inspire loyalty. What are the ways you move out of loyalty? With yourself. You tolerate bad behavior from people. You tolerate hurtful behavior. You don't remove yourself. Instead of removing yourself, you fuss and complain and blame and accuse them. These are the ways you move out of loyalty to yourself. Well, today, you're not going to do that. You have the supportive energy of loyalty. What do you need? What do you desire? What do you want to see? What do you want to create? That's your support today. Plug into that. You have an antipode. The antipode is your challenge, okay? The challenge energy of today is self-generation. You're going to need to plug into that, but it may be a challenge. What is self-generation? It's realizing that you actually do have all that you need inside of you, and you need to discover it. You discover it by the power of heart. You discover it by purifying your universal water, your emotion. Okay, so you're going to need to plug into self-generation today. And I'm not talking about hyper independence. I'm going to do it myself. I can't depend on nobody. That's not self-generation. Self-generation is a true belief that I have what it takes, and so I'm going to pull from that. And remember, you have your heart to support you, the courage. Now, within the challenge, you're going to have to catalyze something, put something in motion. Put what in motion? Energy. The essence of this is energy. You need to realize that everything is energy. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. So I keep repeating that. Why? Because sometimes you start acting like it's not energy. And you start moving in realities that are not true. And you begin to forget that you actually are energy and you affect energy. You sometimes move into powerlessness. You forget that you can move energy. Everything is energy. And then on the spiritual aspect, you have the occult, you have the human. In other words, it's the behind the veil. It's your support system. Your support system, your guides are cautioning you to use your free will to influence by wisdom. Use your free will to influence by wisdom. Your free will is the ability to choose ye this day what you're plugging into. Your free will is about looking at these energies that I'm talking about and choosing that. Your free will is about becoming more and more conscious. See, when your subconscious is leading your show, you're not being guided by free will. You're being guided by programs and autopilot. And so what you need to do is bring wisdom to the forefront, right? Wisdom. What is wisdom? It's lived out experience. It's spiritual instruction. It's indestructible. Infinite instruction. You need wisdom. Wisdom helps you guide things on a case-by-case basis, not put a blanket statement over everything. Wisdom gives you the courage to take things on a case-by-case basis. You need to take people on a case-by-case basis. Sometimes you're trying to judge everyone the same. Oh, when people do this, I do that. Stop that. You need wisdom, because in this case, it might be a little different. It may require you to think differently, say something different, or whatever. Come out of your programs, in other words, today. And lastly, we have been in a 28-day cycle, which we are on day 26. The cycle is called a moon. A moon is a 28-day cycle. You see that arrow? It's pointing to the magnetic moon. This whole 28-day cycle has been calling you to look at what you're unifying with. It's been calling you to look at what you're attracting and find the purpose in it. If you have someone or something in your life that you don't like, you have definitely attracted it, whether you willingly did it or you subconsciously did it. There's some energy. That's why I said everything is energy. Am I saying you wanted it? No. Am I saying you liked it? No. Am I even saying you're responsible for it? In a sense, but not really. What I am saying is things come into your awareness so that you can evolve. People come into your awareness so that you can evolve. Situations happen so that you can evolve. So if you're busy kicking against it and resisting it and attaching yourself to suffering and suffering thoughts and mindsets and suffering words, then you're going to see, right, that what you're attracting is negativity and suffering. You're attached to it. And then when someone tries to tell you something different, you attack them, or people will attack you. It could go either way during this moon. You got 2 more days. You're in a yellow heptad. A heptad is a group of 7 days. You're in a yellow heptad, which gives you the power to refine. I want you to look back over the last 26 days. What has been going on in your world? It has a purpose. And it's not so you could see how the other person is. It's also that. But if you got a suspicious mind, you can't really see that for real. So what it is an opportunity. You've had opportunities to look at things that keep recurring, things that keep happening over and over again, and ask, what is the purpose of this? Instead of getting upset about it, instead of blaming it, you're going to ask, what is the purpose in this? What is this coming to show me about myself? And that is it. Ashe. That's all I got. Y'all good? I hope so. That's a meme. Don't worry about that. Well, let's see it. You might be like this today. Okay. Because when people offer rude comments to me, I do be having a rude comment back at times, and I have to do this. Like, you know what? If I shared what I really wanted to share with you, your world would come to an end. So I'm going to just do this and go talk to my therapist. I didn't mean to show that to you, but today I think it's real relevant because somebody might try you. Somebody might test you. Don't feed into it. Don't let them consume you with their chaos. Don't. Okay? That's it. You are so welcome. Thank y'all so much for being here. If you just popped in, I'm going to post this on YouTube. I released a podcast episode today for you to listen to on YouTube, Spotify, Audible, iPod Podcasts. And it's somewhere else that I don't remember. But you have information today. Thanks for hanging out. Those are your frequencies, and we will talk soon.